before you apply for a credit card, you need to make sure that you're checking off these boxes that I'm about to explain. And the reason being is because I told you before, we want to put ourselves in the best position to obtain whatever credit product that we trying to get, right? We want to make sure that we got the best chances. And in order to do that, we got to make sure that we knowledgeable of these things that I'm about to talk about before we hit submit on that application. So some of the things that you want to pay attention to is annual fees, right? You want to make sure whatever credit card that you get, it don't come with any annual fees. You want the annual fees to be $0, right? So let me slow it down for you just in case you didn't hear what I said. Yeah, we want to make sure that the cards that we get in don't come with no annual fees. The reason being is because we don't want to be obligated to pay, right, just to use a credit product, right? And in turn, we actually want the opposite. We want them to pay us to use their product, right? So another reason is because we on this credit journey, right? So if you at the beginning of your credit journey, you don't want to have to pay a credit card $50 every year, right? You go 10 years down the line, you done paid them $500. What? Why we don't want to do that. We ain't even use the card. We got to pay you $500 to hold this for 10 years. That's not what we want. So in order to avoid that, we got to make sure before we even fill out the application that the credit card doesn't have any annual fees, right? Because now what happens is we get this credit card and we use it. We get the, we get the rewards, we get the benefits that we're looking for. And then we find a better product, right, somewhere else, and we want to use that product. So now we don't want to end up with 5-6 credit cards that are charging us annual fees, because then we will be paying money just to obtain these products when there's a bunch of products out there that are free, a bunch of products that are 0%, right? So that's what we want to focus on. And the main reason is because, like I said earlier, we want to get paid to use their cards. So another thing you want to look for before you hit that submit button is, does this credit card come with a welcome bonus? We want to be welcome, right? We want to feel good about whatever credit card that we're getting. We want to feel like they want us to have their credit card, right? So we want them $200 statement credits. Yeah. If you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days, they give you a $200 statement credit. We need that. With American Express, we need those 100,000 reward points, right? We need 100,000 reward points. Yes, that comes in handy, right? We might use that for air travel, right? Yeah, you never know what you're going to use it for. But the fact of the matter is, if you can get paid to use a card as opposed to paying, that's a no-brainer. Now, imagine the difference between having 5 credit cards that you got to pay an annual fee on and 5 credit cards where you get a welcome bonus. You see, we're on 2 different sides of the spectrums. And if you didn't notice, you just submitting apply because you qualify. Of course you're going to qualify to pay them $89 a year. What? Come on. So we're staying away from credit cards with annual fees, and we're running towards credit cards with welcome bonuses, especially the big ones, right? However, there is a flip side when dealing with certain credit cards, right? So when you got your American Express Gold and your American Express Platinum, not the Cash, not the Plus, not the other ones, right? When you got the big boys, they come with an annual fee. But the reason they come with an annual fee is because of everything that you get alongside of having this card, right? So if these rewards outweigh the annual fee based on how much you're going to use it, and if it actually works for you, then in that case, I would say this is the only time we get in a credit card with an annual fee. But if you're just starting out, you don't really want any annual fees, because you trying to build your credit. You don't want the card that you got to use consistently unless you travel a lot, or unless this coincides, right? If this card coincides with your life, your way of life, and you're able to benefit, so when you pay that $495 a year, but off that $495, you're making $1,100 because you're saving on hotel rooms, you're saving on flights, or you're saving at a restaurant that you frequently eat at, or grocery stores or clothing stores that you shop at, whatever it is. It comes with so many bonuses, but the key is you have to use it. Me personally, I don't spend enough money at the same places for a card of this nature to make sense to me. However, in the future, I plan on traveling a lot. So at that point, I will I will pay that annual fee because off that $4.95, or I think the big one is $7.95 or $6.95. It's up there. I don't know, but I know that I'm gonna be able to get $1,200 off of that. So in that case, yeah, thumbs up. You get the thumbs up for the annual fees. But if you just starting out, you want to stay away from these cards. Trust me. In addition to welcome bonuses, one of the things we want to make sure that this credit card has is balance transfers. Yeah, with the 0% APR for 12 months, maybe 18 months, maybe even 36 months. But we want to make sure it got some form of a balance transfer just in case. And this is not a deal breaker, but after you get 4 or 5 credit cards, you playing the game, it comes in handy to take a balance from one credit card and be able to transfer it to another credit card and only have to pay 3%. Whereas then you would have been paying 18%, 22%, 26%, something chunky, right? So we want to see if this credit card comes with a balance transfer, because that's another form of a welcome bonus. You saving me money. Yeah. Moving on. Let's also not forget to make sure we know what credit bureau this credit card is pulling from, because this may, limit our chances of getting a credit product if we are applying for too much credit that's reporting to one credit bureau, right? We want to keep those hard inquiries down. So this is something that we need to know. We need to know which credit bureau they're reporting to. That way we'll have an advantage, because we know we only could use 5 inquiries every 2 years. So we don't want 6 or 7 cards reporting to the same agency that only lets us use 5. Yeah, so, those are pretty much the things that you want to pay attention to just for starters.